match. But El Generico, gotta say regardless, and I know you'll agree with me, perhaps the most popular wrestler in the whole IWS.
Yeah, the fans seem to really like El Generico. I don't know, maybe it's his black tights, or his skinny frame, or his lack of ability to speak English. But he's one hell of a wrestler, I'll give him that.
We're going to see a lot of mat wrestling, technical, high-flying. Both of these individuals can do it all. As, like I said, this is wrestling personification at its best.
Definitely going to see some great wrestling. Exess 69, I think, has the advantage when it comes to the mat wrestling. But once they start striking and once they start taking it to the air, I got to give it to my boy, El Generico.
Your boy?
My boy, my friend, Guppy, please.
El Generico working on that arm before, the nice single arm DDT into a hammerlock. Exess 69 countering with some trips. I'd like to call him, and I've said this on previous DVDs, Exess 69 is a technical genius on the mat. That sneaky submission finisher is unfreaking believable as he just takes El Generico down with an arm scissors with his legs.
Exess 69 with a pinfall. Not enough there. Exess, great with the mat wrestling, has an extensive background in judo. Much like myself, I have an orange belt in karate. Exess, a legitimate athlete.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, listen, Guppy, I can admit things. Exess now with the front face log. Let's get back to the action, please.
I was going to say, one of the things, though, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, is Exess's advantage is Commissioner Joseph Fitzmaurice at ringside. He has Exess 69 to a 10-year contract signed under an English contract. Exess couldn't read it and understand it. He's a francophone wrestler, of course, here from Quebec. Catches a nice Russian leg sweep counter into a modified abdominal stretch. Nicely done by El Generico.
Generico got the scissors wrapped around the head of Exess 69. Again, I'm going to say it's to El Generico's advantage here to get off the mat with Exess as he's winding up right now on his back.
Definitely. Here's another pin attempt from Exess 69, as you said, and if you notice, oh, there's a nice counter from El Generico with a nice sunset flip and a stiff kick right to the solar plexus. Exess is working on the legs of El Generico because if he starts nailing those double, triple jumps off the top rope, you're certainly going down, as Generico just did from that arm lock. Look at this, another one.
Rolling him around the ring like a rag doll. Exess, Generico with a kick to the head, taking the advantage for himself with a leg lock.
Again, going after the leg, Generico working on several body parts, and a nice version of a leg scissors here. And Exess certainly in pain in the middle of the ring. Don't know if he's going to tap out, but that's certainly going to have some effects on his legs later on in the match.
Both men wearing each other down early on. This is going to take its toll later. As you know, this match not likely to end very quickly.
Reverse butterfly lock or bow and arrow, nicely done. Look at the perfect bridge. The shoulders of Exess are down. Referee Bakke in position. And again, more wrestling you want to see. Check out syndicatewrestling.com. Nice sit-out powerbomb from Exess 69 with a cover.
Exess 69 showing his love for Ahmed Johnson with the Pearl River plunge. And if I may say, Exess 69, the poster boy for metrosexuality. He's like the Ryan Seacrest of the IWS.
If you say so, I'm sure people will agree or not agree with you. But telling the fans, quiet, nice palm thrust to the chest. Also, more on the IWS. Check out Smart Mark Video for more releases from the Internet Wrestling Syndicate.
Absolutely, Smart Mark Video, a brand new addition to the IWS. Exess with the drop kick and a pin.
Another pin attempt here from Exess 69. Both of these individuals, as yourself, as many other are the key players in the IWS, have become international flavors, going down to CZW, Jersey All-Pro, pay-per-view. 2004 has been a great year for the IWS, and Generico firing back, and Exess counters with a fisherman suplex with a beautiful bridge.
That suplex was just perfect, Guppy.
Perfect.
Yes, I was making a reference to Mr. Perfect. It obviously wasn't funny. Thank you for not selling it, Guppy.
You say something?
Elsa Banks.
Exess 69 catches a shot in the midsection. Generico gains some control, but catches one of those uppercut palm thrusts. Exess loves to use those when a guy's up in the corner. It's usually a setup for his beautiful patented Hurricane Rana. No one in wrestling does it like Exess 69.
I believe we're about to see that Hurricane Rana.
Look at that! Beautiful. Catches him with his ankles. Going for that cover. Almost took him over a little bit too much. The shoulder rolling up off the mat. Almost a mistake from Exess.
Well, Exess's momentum working against them as El Generico rolled right through that Hurricane Rana. I gotta say this about Exess 69. Incredible athlete, yes. Good-looking young man? Yes. Covered in baby oil? Usually. A nice guy in the ring? Not at all. He's a dick, Guppy, and you can quote me on that.
Well, Exess definitely in the ring is all business, all professional, wants to get that victory one way or another, as we saw him battle PCO last month at Violent Valentine to nearly become the Internet Wrestling Syndicate champion. El Generico now with a backbreaker into a split-legged moonsault done to perfection and a cover. Back K there to make a 2 count, another lateral press. These guys are going for the victory, and they're going for it hard.
Well, there's no point holding anything back now, Guppy. They've gotten their technical wrestling out of the way, felt each other up a little, or felt each other off, or whatever you want to call it, Guppy. Now it's time to bring out the big guns.
As we've seen a lot of mat wrestling in the first 10 minutes or so of this match, and as you said, it's time to bring out the big guns, as Generico could be looking for that running Yakuza, but Exess scouted that maneuver, countered with a shot of his own, but catches a counter in a German suplex and a bridge, and Generico frustrated, thought he was going to get the victory after that one.
El Generico definitely frustrated with Exess 69. Going to take more than a German suplex to put him away at this point. Going up to the top rope, it looks like Generico, where he's used to, that high-rent district.
That's a good way of saying high-rent district. Could literally do, again, anything he chooses he wants to from the top rope. Splash! What a splash! It's like time froze, and Generico almost gets the victory here. Generico last month at Violent Valentine beef came down to him and Sexy Eddie in that 13-man gauntlet for an IWS championship match and almost got the victory, but beat you in the process and goes for a senton, a swanton, knee right to the back of the head.
Well, if I can use another cliche, El Generico went to the well one too many times and came up not with water, but with knees to the back of the head.
Very clever.
I tried.
Where's Peter LaSalle?
In rehab, Guppy. We covered that at the beginning of the broadcast. Pay attention.
That's right. Wait a second. Commissioner Fitzmaurice getting involved. No reason for him to do this. It's been a good friendly match, and he's whipping him with Exess 69's jacket there.
Crop top, Guppy.
Wait a minute. Has him in there. That's the Tarantula 2K4. And look at those shots from Commissioner Fitzmaurice. No call for that.
Whipping him with the buckle of the crop top. Fitzmaurice, I think he wants to take El Generico home and shower with him. That's what it looks like to me, Guppy. Exess doesn't want any part of it, though. He's a man's man in a woman's body.
No kidding. Doesn't mind having Commissioner at ringside. Understands that he's under contract, but wants to have a friendly, competitive match here with a man he's never wrestled one-on-one here in the IWS, as these two, of course, had a three-way match with you back in Praise the Violence, which you tapped out to Exess 69 for. That's another story.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that, with some chops by Generico in front of some apparently retarded fans next to them behind that barricade, keeping them away from the ring for their own safety.
Very uncharacteristic of El Generico to use those barricades. And of course, our guys are not usually used to having that, but there's the Yakuza as Exess was draped his ribs over that barricade and caught a shot to the ear.
El Generico, that running kick right to the mush of Exess 69. Fitzmaurice isn't going to like that, and he's going over to check on his little boyfriend.
He is checking on the former IWS Tag Team Champion along with the Green Phantom. Didn't they defeat you for the belts in Kamikaze? Another story, another time.
Bad booking.
El Generico and Exess fighting on the outside here. Again, we thought this match was going to stay in the ring, but of course, Commissioner Fitzmaurice will not have it that way as he booked this match for Exess 69, telling him that, hey, you're the best. You lost your title match last month. Beat El Generico, and essentially he can have a title match anytime soon, as Generico just gets dropped face first off the hardest part of the ring, the side of the apron.
It looked to me like Exess was out on his feet, but Exess obviously not done yet, as he's preparing to do something to El Generico on that apron. A suplex, perhaps? El Generico loves to use the brain buster. Maybe Exess going to give him a taste of his own medicine.
Very well said, Beef. I'm impressed.
But I was wrong.
Generico, you certainly were wrong. Countering, going for that half and half, perhaps, on the side. Half dragon, half tiger suplex. Almost an amateur-like maneuver. Exess countering with a bulldog, draping the throat of El Generico over the guardrail, Beef. Sick. Take another look at that.
El Generico's face bounced off that barricade, something Exess can't normally do at an IWS show.
You hit the nail on the head, or I guess the Generico on the rail, as you said. Look at that. Modified 619. outside inside, and it's not banned from this matchup.
No, the 619, the 514, the 728, the 737. I'm going to keep calling numbers until you interrupt me with something wrestling related, Guppy. 526.
There's
13. Okay, thank you.
Exess is grabbing a chair. Again, Exess showing his frustration. I gotta say, the influence of Commissioner Joseph Fitzmaurice.
Hold on, Guppy. Exess is clapping. That was monumental.
But okay, looks like he's going for the chair to set up as possibly another method of spring, because I thought he was going to use it as a weapon, but essentially he's going to possibly propel himself outside as a weapon.
More clapping from Exess 69 as he prepares for something obviously ludicrous, Guppy. Exess doesn't believe in intelligence in the wrestling ring.
Hold on, Exess, 2 jumps, shooting star press, shooting star press. He just nailed El Generico and almost hit his head on the side of the apron. Suicide-like maneuver, no pun intended.
I think a double axe handle would have sufficed in that situation, Guppy, but Exess 69 had to take it one step further with a double springboard shooting star press variation of the double axe handle.
Sure. Exess, scintillating maneuver, however you want to call it. You just saw the footage of it. El Generico taken out, winded from that spectacular aerial offense from Exess 69. Looks like El Generico's being schooled a little bit.
Well, El Generico, the first one back up to his feet after that. Exess took himself out in the process, putting his own body on the line, the body that belongs, if you will, to Joey Fitzmaurice, on the line to take out El Generico, who's on top right now in this matchup.
Joseph Fitzmaurice seemed to maybe barking orders, supervising what his man's doing. El Generico kicking that chair out of the way, trying to be the sportsman that we all know he is, the most popular luchador in IWS history.
I gotta say, El Generico, great athlete, poor hygiene. Being his roommate, I happen to know he's a slob around the house, but that has nothing to do with this as he misses one springboard.
He jumps up to the second, somersault plancha, lands on his feet, totally compensated for the first springboard. No doubt about that one, Beef, as we're going to take another look at this right about now.
Absolutely. You see El Generico not phased by missing his first springboard attempt, up on the top, landing on his feet. And this is, Guppy, where you can see El Generico's experience that he's gained coming into play. Month after month, over the past few years in the IWS, my boy, my roommate, my platonic friend, nothing going on there hanky-panky-wise, pie to the face.
That was a pie to the face. I'm sorry to interrupt your rant there, Beef, because I was very interested, but that was a pie to the face.
Well, that was something you don't ordinarily see in this kind of a match, but I'm going to continue with what I was saying because I was being serious. El Generico getting better and better and better, Guppy. I'd like to take credit for it,
well,
and I will.
Now you're going too far, but certainly back to your original. Compensating from that double spring miss, El Generico, as you said, I mean, no stranger to the medley. When we were back here in September, took a Death Valley driver from then champion, the Arsenal, through 5 tables, and since then, that was about 7-8 months ago, has just totally become this new man.
El Generico working harder than ever, actually hitting the gym. It doesn't show just yet, but I guarantee you he's going to put some weight on that measly frame of his.
There's a modified sweep, almost like an STO, cradles him up. I thought that was a 3. I thought that was a 3, Beef. I gotta say, I thought Exess took it right there.
No, I thought that was a 1 count. I was surprised, quite frankly. I just want to argue with you, Guppy.
Thank you. They're actually paying you for this, I hear.
They are? I should hope so. I'm a hot commodity, Guppy.
You truly are. And for more hot commodities, syndicatewrestling.com to learn more about the IWS Superstars, DVDs, merchandise, Bloodstream, and check out more on Smart Mark Video and pay-per-view as El Generico reverses Exess into the corner and nails him with that Yakuza, Beef. There's that Yakuza kick. You've been on the other end of that. What does that feel like?
I gotta tell you, it's not fun when Exess answers back with a Yakuza kick of his own, and now they're just trading the shots. I gotta tell you, Guppy, getting kicked in the face, not as fun as it looks.
Those are real kicks, folks. I don't care what they say about pro wrestling. When a boot hits you in the side of the chin, you gotta feel that. Look at that velocity, 6'1" of El Generico with a running Yakuza. We can have a victor right here as El Generico almost gets the victory again. Close match as we're, I guess, in a 20-minute mark about this point, Beef. But wow, these two fiery athletes showing why the IWS are featuring up-and-coming athletes as the wrestling speaks for itself.
Absolutely, Guppy, and you can hear there the fans solidly behind El Generico. They just love him. I think it's because of his theme music myself. But the fans definitely behind El Generico want to see him win, want to see him succeed, want to see him eat a sandwich.
Sure. I don't know about the sandwich part, but
he's malnourished, Guppy. I see him eat at home.
He has Exess, though, on the top rope. Crouched on that top rope. Looked like he was going for, I don't even know what he was going for. He's on the second here. Has him for power slam, perhaps?
Power slam, tombstone, I don't know.
Exess counters with a tornado-like DDT beat.
If he can get the cover, that's got to be it, Guppy.
This one could be over right here. Resiliency yet again from El Generico, as we're going to take another look at that DDT.
Beautiful reversal by Exess 69. You saw El Generico waving his fingers as if to say, no, that was not the pinfall.
As I told you, technical genius. I mean, he countered that move in mid-air. And you know what? I got to tell you something. Perhaps some of that early on legwork in this match took some of the toll of El Generico, or maybe some of those stiff kicks we just saw him give back to him there. As Generico's flat on his back. Wow, he's getting up here.
Both men have got to be exhausted, but Guppy, neither one wants to lose this match. This is an important match in the rankings here in the IWS. Generico has him up for that tombstone.
Oh, he almost slipped, but still caught him enough to take the victory here. And obviously, Commissioner Fitzmaurice smelt that as he interfered on behalf of Exess, and maybe he smelled something else.
Well, Commissioner Fitzmaurice, any excuse to get his hands on El Generico, but that could have been the match right there, Guppy. And Commissioner Fitzmaurice sticking his nose in Exess's business one more time.
Here we go, El Generico.
I think I know what's coming here, Guppy.
Could be a superplex, could be a Hurricane Rana. Again, El Generico, a master of offense. Don't know where he's coming from.
Guppy, you hear the fans chanting. They want a brainbuster. El Generico hitting that brainbuster on the top turnbuckle. One of the most ridiculous and nicest looking moves I've seen in wrestling, Guppy.
I got to admit it, we might see one here. He's setting him up. We don't know. Is it a superplex or is it the brainbuster? It is brainbuster. Exess dumped to the outside. What a brainbuster, Beef.
If I can cue it Japanese style, a brainbuster. That's gonna hurt for a while, my friend.
There you see, Brainbuster. Yeah, that's the best way to call it. Brainbuster to the outside. My gosh, Commissioner Fitzmaurice has to be worried about his man there.
Just listen to the crowd, Guppy. Unfortunately for Generico, Exess bounced right to the floor on that, or that would have been the finish right there, would have pinned him on the spot.
That pie, they're slipping on that pie that was used earlier on in that matchup. I never thought I would, I thought I would say that in the IWS. As Generico, as you said, almost got the victory, maybe a couple seconds too late. Exess, again, hate to keep on using the word resiliency, but these two individuals, there's no other way to describe it, as they keep on kicking out of everything possible.
Neither man wants to look bad in front of the other. Exess wants to impress Fitzmaurice, obviously. El Generico wants to impress me, I would think, so I give him a pat on the back when he gets backstage. Going up to the top rope again, and Fitzmaurice, come on, balls first on the top turnbuckle.
Couldn't have said it better, absolutely. Crotched, pulled down violently by Fitzmaurice. No DQs, no countouts. Let's face it, he's the boss, so anything literally goes, and DQs will certainly not apply to the commissioner. President Seska's got to do something about that. But back to this matchup here.
Exess clapping. That means he's going for some offensive moves. Could it be the one-man Spanish fly or the fall-away moonsault?
It looks like it is. Fall-away moonsault slam off the top rope. Spectacular. Back A in position. And how the hell did El Generico kick out of that?
A split second away from finishing El Generico off, but the luchador from Tijuana, Mexico, currently residing in a crappy apartment with me, kicked out Guppy.
The only man to do it from the top rope, the fall-away moonsault slam, and I don't really recall anybody actually ever kicking out of that maneuver. El Generico might have pulled off a first here. Know your enemies, March 27, 2004, Beef.
Both men trading waist locks, trying to get, I guess, another German suplex, thinking the next move might very well end this match. Oh!
Fitzmaurice with a chair shot. He just crippled, leveled, decapitated El Generico.
Joseph Fitzmaurice, the man that took out PCP Manny's 2 front teeth, just leveled El Generico with the chair and wants Exess to do it again.
Exess firing back at his boss, saying there's no call for that. That's going to be an equalizing factor, I guarantee you, in this match. There was no weapons used. Deplorable, absolutely deplorable.
Generico's got a roll up.
This could be it. Schoolboy from El Generico almost got it.
Generico's calling for the brainbuster.
Exess counters. There's a small package. Backay right there to make another 2 count.
What is it going to take, Guppy, for one of these men to win the match? I would have lost by now.
Backslide with a lot of leverage. We know you would have lost a long time ago, but there's another pinfall. There it is. There's that sneaky submission. He's trying to lock him in. Exess, if he crops him over, he's going to tap out at this point of the match. Exess has him in the middle of the ring, Beef. There's nowhere for him to go, but Generico's fighting it.
Fighting as hard as he can. Barring a run-in, I don't see any way that El Generico can get... And there we go.
El Generico taps out. Phenomenal matchup, Beef, gotta say, but that chair shot had to take its toll on El Generico, and no question about it, Exess showed his competitiveness, but Fitzmaurice, I think, was the deciding factor.
From one phenomenal match to likely another, because, folks, there is the Arsenal, along with the fan favorites, Hardcore Ninja number 2, and the Motivator of Madness, apparently replacing Hardcore Ninja number 1, who's vanished off the face of the earth in a puff of smoke. Arsenal brandishing that IWS I'm Hardcore shirt.